Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is the last feature update of the year of 2024.
Yeah, no.
I've got Kevin here. Kevin, how you doing?
Great. I'm doing well. I got my light fixed. This guy was like broken for a few days, so happy to get it back up and working. It had a bit of a crash off my wall, and so glue was required.
Nice. Now we both have it on our camera here. Cool. Well, listen, every month we go live, we share what we're working on. It's one of the ways that we kind of keep you guys on the journey with us. We've been doing this for a few years now. And so if you aren't subscribed to us on YouTube yet, make sure you do so. Our channel is just Pebble REI. So I believe it's like youtube.com/Pebble REI. Or if you go to pebblerei.com/YouTube, it'll actually bring you to YouTube and ask you to subscribe right away. So you don't need to look for the subscribe button. So anyways, we're going to get started here. We've got a few things we want to wrap up the year with within the app itself. And let's jump right into it. So, Kevin, the first thing we've got here, we've been spending a lot of time on the map. You've been spending a lot of time on the mapping side of things. Let's talk about it. Last time we shared some information about the mapping inside of Pebble, how
Mhm.
we are able to do our due diligence. A lot of things that you typically do on something like Land ID or RE Grid, you can now completely do inside of Pebble. But I know you're continuing to enhance that inside of Pebble. So let's jump into that.
Yeah, so what we're going to show today is some updates we've made to our specifically to the drawing features in our tool. So, like we said last time, we've got new floodplain and wetland controls here, so we can turn on and off different layers for floods, and you can visualize all of your properties on a map simply by just scrolling around. You can see all the properties that you have available. Um, and what we're going to show today is the ability now to change the shapes of your parcels, and this is going to allow you to do some really cool kind of exploratory work, specifically if you're doing, say, subdivides, or if you're trying to find how you might be able to make a deal work. um, we can sort of do that right inside of Pebble. So let me pull open a property here. I've just got a property. Let's imagine that we, got a lead here. This one, this property here, we got a lead in, and we now want to explore what this property has to offer. So, as I said, we can turn on our floodplain and our wetland layers here just to make sure we don't have any issues there. We can turn on our satellite view, and let's just assume that this is the property that we are looking at here. So let's say that you want to figure out, how might I be able to subdivide this property? So first thing I'm going to do is just open this up in full screen so that we can see
Yeah.
everything. So that will open up sort of the full screen map. You get the same features in the full screen size, and then I'm going to start looking at subdividing this. So the way that I can do that is just by throwing at this little polygon tool here. Now, previously, you were limited to only having one sort of square on the map at a time. And this new mapping feature will now let you have as many squares as you want. So I can go in here and I can say, let's say that I wanted to subdivide this thing into thirds. So I can just draw this square here, or this rectangle, and it's going to give me an acreage here. So I can just quickly see this is 14, almost 15 acres. Let's say that I want to increase that size, right? I can just grab the corners here, bring this up. Let's say I want to get it closer to 20 acres. Okay, right there is 20 acres. Now I can grab another tool and say, all right, let's say I want to split this into thirds, so I can get 3 properties here, with the so I've got an 11 to 12 acre property here. Let's say I want to add another property over here,
And while
and
Kevin is
now.
doing this, sorry, I just want to interrupt.
Mhm.
You can't see it on your screen, the bottom acreage, because Kevin's label on this platform is blocking it. But on the
Oh
bottom
shoot.
left corner there, that's okay. You can kind of see it a little bit there. It actually shows you the acreage.
Yeah, let me
Oh, there you
if I
go. Yep,
zoom out there, we should be able to see it.
yep,
You
we
see
can see
that
that
there?
now. Yep.
Yeah, so this is showing the acreage of each of these little squares that I'm clicking on. So as I click on them, they'll tell me what the acreage is, and then I can just save this, right? So now I have all three of these little shapes on here, so I can come back and I can move things around. I can change their shapes and sort of play around with what this might look like. In
Yeah.
addition to that, we can also draw lines, right? So let's say I just want to figure out how long is the road frontage here. Well, I can just grab the line tool, put that line there, finish it off, and then it will give me the length. So in this case, it's about 1,500 feet across the front of the property. So I can quickly just see, what the different size of this property are, and I can draw those lines. I can save them, and they'll stay with the property here. And again, I can pull up my neighboring properties, see what the owners are there, see if there's any last sale value. Right now, this looks like this county is just showing the tax amount, but for many counties, we actually capture the last sale amount. So, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Last market sale. So this property here, I can quickly see that this sold for apparently 1,260. Now that may not be correct because sometimes these non-disclosure states don't give you exact amounts. But for those that do, you can look up the last sale amount. So that can be really helpful trying to figure out what your property might be worth.
Yep. I'm going to add a couple more things here, Kevin.
Mhm.
You're now able to confirm the size of your property. I've been stressing this quite a bit
Yeah.
because there have been mistakes that are found in the county records that that whatever they like it says 10 acres, but it's actually a 1 acre. Now you can
Mhm.
measure that and double check that. That should be a part of your due diligence process. The other thing, quite small, but sort of a UX change here, is that Kevin, if you shrink this, and you already mentioned it, but
Mhm.
you can actually interact with the map now directly on this property page. You don't need to
Oh
actually
yeah.
before you expand this. You can do this all directly here, right, Kevin?
Yep, everything that you just saw me do in that full screen um, sort of view, you can do that right here without needing
Awesome.
to open things up. So if you just need to go quickly, check what is the size of this parcel, I can just click on that. It'll tell me what the acreage is there,
Yeah.
and I can even bring up the neighboring properties, see what those are. So very, very sort of trying to make things easier. Before you had to click the edit button to bring up the full screen map, then do things from there. No longer do you have to do that. You can sort of do everything right from that main panel.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm excited to continue to see things kind of roll out for the map. I know that's an area that we'd
And
like to spend a little bit
And
more time.
one final thing that I do want to show is our 3D viewer. This we've always had, but it's been a bit hidden, and sometimes people didn't realize that this was
Mm,
possible.
yeah.
This is incredibly valuable when you're trying to figure out things like slope, because if you're just looking at a satellite view,
Yeah.
you may not know that this property is on like a mountainside. So I encourage you to always click this 3D button. This will bring
Yes.
up the property in 3 dimensions. Now, in
Yeah.
this case, we're in a pretty flat part of the country, but if you say go over to the mountains, that 3D view becomes very important, right? You can really get an idea of what sort of slope is going on here, and you can even move that 3D view around. You can
Yeah.
get some really good shots of that. And since we now have flood zones and wetlands, you can see where are those flooding issues because of the terrain. So really, really powerful there. We also have the topography contour lines, so you can turn those on and off and see, at a glance, what are the different elevations throughout this property. So very, very powerful features there.
Awesome. Yes. So check out the map features. There's going to be certainly more changes coming down the road with the mapping side of things. This is really what continues to make Pebble really special as a platform, because we have certain data like this built into the platform. So
Mhm.
let's go on to the next one here: contact category filters. Explain to us what that means, Kevin.
Yeah, so we are currently working on making the contacts database more powerful. So we have now, we're allowing you now to search by more things than just by the name or the email, which you can do by typing in here. You can also now categorize your contacts by what type of contact they are, right? If you're handling buyer leads,
Yeah.
you want to be able to categorize each of those leads coming in as a buyer. So then you can quickly select buyer and figure out which one, and be able to filter those out. Maybe export a buyers list every week. You want to dump those into, say, Mailchimp or something else where you're sending out emails. We now allow you to quickly do that. So categories, very easy to filter contacts by categories. We're adding some more filters coming soon here, so you will be able to sort of slice and dice your contacts database in much more powerful ways.
Yeah. It's funny. A lot of platforms are based around contacts first, and where Pebble really shines is where property record first. Now we
Mhm.
know how important contacts are, and this is sort of the next evolution where we start focusing on some of the contact stuff as well. So, looking forward to that as well. All right, let's talk about the last one here, our reskin. So some of you guys know, we've gone ahead and rebranded. No, I wouldn't say rebrand. It's a brand refresh for Pebble, given a new look, an updated look. One that I think really suits what we've been after. With Pebble, we really want to think about keeping things simple, and also be delightful at the same time. So, Kevin, I don't know if you have a little bit of a preview, in terms of the reskin here that you can show us, but I know that's always fun to share with people. What things might look like down the road here.
Yeah, so you can see my screen here. This is sort of
Yeah.
a very alpha preview of what the Pebble app is going to look like going forward. So we've sort of changed to this orange branding, and everything should be relatively similar to what you're used to, but we've just introduced a bit of tightened color and icons. We'll be working to really tighten this up and give you sort of more space to focus on things. And what we're really excited too is unifying the navigation. So previously we sort of had things scattered around a little bit. We're going to try to tighten that up and really focus on your workflow as you go from campaigns to handling leads to managing your deal flow, and then handling configuring your account and your database management, all of that sort of organized in a proper way on the sidebar there. So that's what we're focusing on with this refresh, and
Yeah.
you should start seeing that in the next week or so.
Awesome. Well, we have had a blast in 2024, continuing to build Pebble. Please follow us on the journey. 2025, there's a lot of exciting things that we have not mentioned yet. So you want to stay tuned. Personally, there's a couple things that I'm very, very excited about. But thank you so much for all of you guys that are continuing to join our journey, that are supporters of ours, that are interested in having conversations with us. It means a lot. And also to our users who've given us a lot of feedback, whether good feedback or bad feedback. And all that feedback has been really, really helpful in terms of guiding us. So the community has been especially, something that we're especially thankful and grateful for. So, yeah, Kevin, is there anything else we need to mention here?
No, I think that does it. I'm again just really happy that we can share these things with our community, and we've got some great stuff planned for next year. So stay tuned. We've got some really cool stuff coming.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, Have a wonderful rest of the year. There's still some stuff that we're running live. So if you know what's going on, like our land launch, or you want to join us with our office hours, those are still going to happen throughout to the end of the year. Even during the holidays, we're still at it. Other than that, we'll see you guys all in the new year. That'll be 2025. See you guys.